That did not. Let me know if that fixed it, and it should have fixed it. Sorry, we had a. You know, I live in Oklahoma. We had tornadic ass fucking weather the other night, and it knocked our power out. And anytime my power goes out, it fucks with the settings on my computer, and I don't know why. So I completely forgot that it messed with the settings. But you should be able to hear me now. So now that we are back in, what I was saying was. I am saving the Black Panther news for last, like SJ asked at the very top there. Yeah, the Black Panther news is going to be saved for last. I did want to get in here and just kind of talk about this. This is not the normal time that I obviously do streams, but wanted to talk about this now because the Pantheon stream is this evening, so I'm sure they'll want to dive into some other things this evening on top of it. But I wanted to get my thoughts out now and just get what I know, what I was told out there as well. Now, I am still of the same somewhat mindset that I have had, but this information that is told to me is very interesting, coupled with what the Cosmic Circus just put out in their Q&A. So this is pretty interesting. So we're going to jump into all of it. Not just that, we're going to talk about Monica having a bigger role, or seemingly seems like she's going to have a bigger role in Avengers Doomsday, and then we're going to talk about RDJ being dialed in for Avengers Doomsday. Then we'll jump into what I was told about Black Panther in general, being T'Challa in the MCU, and then we'll jump into what Cosmic Circus was saying about Black Panther 3 and how both these two things kind of line up with one another. So appreciate everybody being here. That is here. If you are in here and you have not hit that like button, please go ahead and hit that like button. It does help us out. And if you're not subscribed and you would like to be subscribed, if you like what you see here, go ahead and hit that subscription button as well. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the first thing here. First thing here that we'll get into is just the role that Monica is going to have in Avengers Doomsday. Now, this is coming from Alex over at the Cosmic Circus. Alex says good work over there. And he is saying that rumors new details on Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau's roles in Avengers Doomsday revealed. And it goes on to say the Marvels was a flop when it opened at the end of 2023, but a new rumor claims to shed some light on big plans for Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau in the next Avengers movies. It goes on to say Captain Marvel was a $1.1 billion hit when it opened in 2019, though it did have the advantage of opening between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. The Marvels continued Carol Danvers' story and paired her up with WandaVision's Monica Rambeau and Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan. The sequel wasn't a disaster, but something about it failed to register with audiences, and with only $206 million worldwide, it ranked among Marvel Studios' biggest flops. In the closing moments of the Marvels, Monica Rambeau was left stranded in an alternate reality where she encountered a variant of her mother, now the mutant hero known as Photon, and the X-Men beast Photon. I was thinking, is that not binary? And X-Men's Beast. While Ms. Marvel's bangles are likely no longer set to be linked to Kang the Conqueror, the Stinger still sets the stage for the Marvels to be key players in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. According to the Cosmic Circus, Captain Marvel is currently studying how Kamala's bangles, aka the Kree quantum bands, work, as well as studying the jump point system to see how she is able to recreate the events from the Marvels that could allow her to bring Monica back from wherever she went. Problem is, if she does that, she'll be dooming her universe to a terrible fate, which I'm assuming is going to be an incursion. Then it goes on to say, as for what we should expect to see from Monica and Kamala, the site report explains, from what I've been told, we can expect both of them to return, and Monica Rambeau's role will be a tad more important to the story for the upcoming film, comparable to the role of Vision in Avengers Infinity War. Now we'll pause there on that. The only thing that bothers me, because I saw this on Twitter before, and that had been the highlighted part, that it was going to be the role size is going to be comparable to Vision in Infinity War. And that is, well, that's the important story for the upcoming film, comparable to the role of Vision. So if it's comparable, not talking about the size there, they're talking about the role itself being comparable to the one Vision. I remember Vision getting punked in Infinity War and Endgame, and I understand that he was one of the key points that Thanos was trying to get to. But if you go watch again Age of Ultron and you watch how Vision was in strength and everything, not just Age of Ultron, even Infinity War, you watch how he was in strength and everything, but really Age of Ultron. Then you watch how he was in strength compared to Infinity War. I feel like, just like with the Hulk, the Russos really didn't know what to do with him other than use him as one of the key points that Thanos was trying to get to. And they kind of dwarfed him a bit. So I don't want that to happen to Monica. I don't want Monica to just be a key point here that we're trying to get to or whatever, and then we dwarf Monica down, because I feel like we've been doing that the entire time we've been seeing Monica. We rarely got her powers. Obviously, they were just sprinkling her powers on in WandaVision. We really didn't see much there. And then even in her film, well, not even her film, but the film that she is in with Captain Marvel and the Marvels, it's not even that great. Then there's the rumored canceled series that she was supposed to be having. So, Monica hasn't gotten a lot of respect thus far in the MCU. So I'm hoping that that is not something that continues. I'm hoping that they do really put some respect on Monica and not have her just be, a MacGuffin here in this for Avengers Doomsday. I hope it is some respect on Monica. Goes on to say Captain Marvel's actions could lead to the incursion, or might be what opens the door to the heroes of Earth 616 teaming up with Earth 10005's X-Men, including Deadpool and Wolverine, of course. As for Ms. Marvel, leaked concept art of the upcoming Avengers movie showed her alongside the rest of the Young Avengers / champions, Hawkeye, Cassie Lang, Wiccan, and Speed. It's unclear when or even if Marvel Studios will officially announce Avengers Doomsday cast, though all signs point to Brie Larson, Tiana Paris, and Aman Vanali being among those who assemble next May. I don't know who this quote is from, but it says, I love Aman. She's incredible. I love that character. Marvel television boss Brad Winderbaum said last December, I will tell you that she's certainly a big part of the MCU to me. Ms. Marvel is a really important show to us. And without going into great detail, because I don't want to spoil anything, she is top of mind. So it's going to be exciting to see where she pops up next. And that's what he said last December. Now, I believe, obviously, last December was still somewhat, they had the Kang storyline that they were kind of going to go after and things like that. I don't know if that has changed. I don't know how big her role is going to be either. But the key point here is that Monica was supposed to have a bigger role. And I hope, like I said there, at the point of comparing it to Vision, that it is not that of Vision. I hope that they really do put some respect on Monica's name, because it's overdue. It's overdue. She's one of the strongest characters in Marvel, and the fact that we are not seeing that power set yet, we should see that. So, pretty exciting if that is true for Avengers Doomsday. But we will move to the next thing. We'll look at some of the comments here that you guys are saying on that one. And the next thing will be what RDJ is up to. Rashad Walker said they don't value black characters. Yeah, we know that one. D Stizzle said they failed Rambeau fam on multiple levels. The Rambeau fam on multiple levels. And then SJ said Nate ain't done shit for black heroes. Not at all. Not at all. All right, we'll move into the next thing here. The next thing is RDJ being dialed in, and the directors, the Russo brothers, set up quite a bit. They did an interview, I believe it was yesterday. I don't know if it was with Collider, but Collider was the one that put it out or covered or whatever. A few other outlets as well. So they did an interview, and in that they said that RDJ wrote the backstory for Doctor Doom. They also said that RDJ, a year prior to them taking on the job of helming Avengers 5 and 6, that called them and asked them, to do it, and presented a script to them, or not a script, an idea to them, or things like that. Blah, blah, blah. But seems like he is dialed in. This is what they had to say about that. They said Joe and Anthony Russo are doing the press rounds to promote their latest movie, Netflix, The Electric State. But talk has talk has inevitably turned to their imminent Marvel Cinematic Universe return for the next two Avengers movies. While speaking to E.T., the filmmakers were asked about the shock announcement that Robert Downey Jr. would be leaving Tony Stark behind to play the villainous Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday. Anthony revealed that the actor is very hands-on with his role and has fully immersed himself in Doom to the point that he's actually writing some backstory for the character. He's writing backstory, costume ideas. He just really loves rich three-dimensional characters. I think he sees this as a real opportunity. We wouldn't read too much into this. At least we can't imagine RDJ has decided to completely alter Doom's origin. In a previous interview, I don't know that, and the reason I'm saying it like that is because we've been hearing for quite some time, that obviously this is not going to be Doom from the comics. This is not going to be Doom that we all know. If we're to believe rumors, I don't believe there is a massive connection to Doom and the Fantastic Four, which is why the overall conflict in Avengers Secret Wars is not going to be between Doom and Reed. It's going to be between Doom and Spider-Man. And that's a whole nother thing because of him looking like his mentor and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that he's not completely... I won't say he's completely, maybe, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I just from, again, the rumors and things like that, it's not the Doom that we know. From some of the stuff we've heard, it's either a variant of Tony Stark or Tony Stark has been Dr. Doom all along. And so I don't know. And again, I don't believe the Tony Stark being Dr. Doom all along deal, because then does that not, piss on what you did in Endgame with Tony Stark, So I don't know. The whole arc with Tony Stark in the Infinity Saga. So I don't know. But if I am of the belief that it's probably a variant of him, I wouldn't expect this for anybody to sit down that is a comic reader to sit down and expect this to be the Victor Von Doom that in comics. So I wouldn't say that he's... Again, I wouldn't say he's completely rewriting it, but it's not going to be that. Is he playing a completely new character, though, based on everything that's been revealed so far, which isn't much? RDJ has indeed been cast as Dr. Doom and not the evil Stark variant. Oh, okay, so that is true. Let me rewind on that, because I don't know if it was him or the Russos that came out and said he is playing Dr. Doom. He is not playing a variant of Tony Stark. Now, that could still be just wordplay. Could just be... Actually, you really can't take anything. You have to take everything they say with a grain of salt, just because the Russos just talked about leaks in this interview that they did. They were talking about how they are trying. I don't think it's in this that we're reading, but in the whole interview that they did, they talked about trying to minimize leaks for the film and how they're filming on a soundstage and they're going to be doing this and this and that, blah, 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 putting fake things out there, X, Y, and Z. So that could just be wordplay, saying that he is not a variant. He is playing the definitive Dr. Doom or whatever, but I don't know. They finish on saying, and not the evil Tony Stark variant, but rumors persist that he will be joined by the likes of Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, and Scarlett Johansson, Natasha Romanoff playing villainous versions of the OG Avengers, and I just absolutely hate that. I have hated that since the very beginning. I don't like the idea of just pulling in evil versions of the OG Avengers. I don't. I know some people have been saying, we could see King Thanos on the team. We could see Ultron on the team. We could see, Hydra Cap on the team. We could see Maestro Hulk on the team. There's, so many different... I don't know. I don't know what his cabal is going to look like or anything like that. I don't like it just being evil versions of the Avengers, where the current Avengers have to grapple with the fact that, oh God, that is my mentor, my friend, and I don't like it. Anyway, goes on to say the Russos were, and I would hope that they're not doing that again, because the Russos just did. Again, in the whole interview, you can go read the whole thing that they did do. He said they were talking about how they have to undo. They want to outdo what they did in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. So to do that, I would hope with that story, I don't know that you can do that with that story. That's just me. I don't like that idea. The Russos were also asked whether they had any Marvel characters in mind and in mind for the Electric State star Millie Bobby Brown, and sounds like they do have a few ideas. I don't know that I really care to read what they have for Millie. Avengers Doomsday arrives in theaters on May 1st, 2026, followed by Avengers Secret Wars on May 7th, 2027, and that could be getting delayed, and we're going to talk about that. That's going to tie into that Black Panther stuff. Both films will be directed by the Russo brothers, who also make their MCU return after helming Captain America Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War. Being able to create stories and explore characters within the Marvel Universe fulfilled a lifelong blah, 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 blah. We've heard them say that before. All right, so yes, that is what RDJ is up to. So is it going to be a completely different character than the Doom that you know from comics? I'm just obviously, yes. This is not going to, if we're even to still believe what they've said, this is a one and done thing. He's not going to go on being Doom in the next universe. This is just what they're doing. This is introducing your Marvel's best villain this early on without any really build up to it. And again, I've seen people online having the conversation like, oh, well, it's, they can easily flesh it out. We've even heard rumors that Avengers Doomsday is supposed to be the origin story for him, and how they're going to use that entire almost 3 hours, over a little over 3 hours or whatever it's going to be, to tell that story, to flesh him out to the audience and things like that. Again, I don't know how that works, and I haven't sat down. Maybe it does, I don't know. But with the difference in the Infinity Saga is we built to we built to Thanos. We built to, all the different post-credit scenes, all the little cameos he had in different movies and things like that, built to when we finally saw him, beating the shit out of Hulk, which I still hate, beating the shit out of Hulk, and then decimating Asgard, the rest of Asgard, while looking for it built up to that. It had that moment to where you actually really feared Thanos. I remember sitting in the theater, Infinity War is a very different feel. I don't have that feel going into Avengers Doomsday. I don't have that feel going into Avengers Secret Wars. And again, that could still be the incredible stench that Marvel has left behind from Brave New World and the other bad projects that we've had to witness. I don't know. I don't know if how that turns out, but and then again, maybe, and I know a lot of people were really, really, really dope and hyped over the concept art leaks. I was not like, oh, it was cool. They were dope. It was really cool seeing a lot of that shit, but it didn't move the pin for me for like the excitement for Doomsday 1. None of it's official. 2, it just didn't do anything for me. I don't know. I guess I'm waiting. I'm still really excited for Fantastic Four. I don't know how that's going to do, but I'm really excited for it. All right. The next thing that we'll move to is going to be the Black Panther news. And thank you, Motivational. I appreciate that for the super chat. Go ahead and acknowledge that. Thank you so much.
Little dude from across the street. Let me hold $1.
All right, so he asked in that, any idea why movies continue to stray away from the comics, similar to the MCU nerfing Wakanda's advanced medical technology and engineering? I think what they are simply trying to do with the MCU, and I think that they've said this before, it's completely different from the comics. They are distinguishing, certain things are going to be the same, certain things are going to be different, but the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is vastly different from comics. I don't even, like when, I used to argue the point with people like, oh, that's not comic, or when we talked about different things being changed in the MCU or whatever, but now I just say, oh, it's the MCU. This is just what they do. They create their own. The Wakanda in the MCU is not the Wakanda that I know, and I've gone over plenty times the different points of why that is. I've compared the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show to the Spider-Man that we have in the MCU. Although I really love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I really do love that Spider-Man. But the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated show, if that is the Spider-Man, that was so much more. There were things different. It's a multiversal thing. Obviously, not everything was the same, but it felt more comic Spider-Man than what our Spider-Man feels like. There's a lot of different things. Why they are straying from it? Again, it's the MCU. They're going to do what they want to do. Raymond says he's writing his own backstory again. Yeah, guys, and it's like that. It's crazy, but it's just lines up with the rumors that we've heard too of what Doom's origins are going to be in the MCU, or how that lines up and things like that. So if he's writing his own backstory, it's because this is a one and done deal. He's not going to go on and continue to be Doctor Doom. This Doom is not going to be the Doctor Doom in the soft rebooted universe. How long it would be till you see Doctor Doom again after this, who knows? Because again, the next saga is the Mutant Saga. So who knows? Who knows on that one? Let's see. You guys had a lot to say on this one, so we'll see what you guys are saying. D Stizzle said, "Why is RDJ involved with anything Doom related? Madness." Ty said, "Just recreate what the comics laid out. I'm personally tired of the Marvel fan fiction adaptations." That's why I said I'm so curious how I don't know anything other than what is currently out there just from scoopers about Doomsday or anything like that. But I'm very curious if the rumors and leaks are true about what is out there. And I'm not, spoiling anything for anyone, because I know not a lot of people like the rumors and scoops and things like that. But what is out there, if it is true, I don't know how everybody's really going to like. Now, casuals may really love it, really love what they see. Not everybody knows who Doctor Doom is like that, so other than us that grew up on some of this stuff and things like that. But I don't know how everybody, the core audience like that, is really going to feel about it. I've already said I don't like the changes to the Cabal issue. I already don't like some of the things that are out there about who or how they're going to fit Doom into this and how it's going. We'll see though. We'll see. That's why it's a waiting game right now. We just got to wait and see. Urban said, so RDJ is hands-on with his character, and it's seen as a positive thing. Mahershala Ali is somewhat hands-on with Blade, and it's seen as Capone, stop. Inordinate influence. Yeah, well, the thing with that one, with that, was so that with all the stuff with Mahershala Ali was rumors. We heard a lot of rumors that Mahershala Ali was difficult to work with. He was this and this and that, blah 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 blah. I don't know that Mahershala Ali was really difficult to work with. I mean, and I don't believe that. I think that was there were things out there that were coming from some of the scoopers like Daniel RPK and others that were saying that. I think even Alex over the Cosmic Circus was saying that. Now, it could have just been, trying to put out fires from Marvel, where they were saying like, no, everything was all good. Mahershala Ali is happy. And now, one of the things that I kept saying, even when they were coming out saying that Mahershala Ali was even happy, was we've not heard Mahershala Ali say he was happy. The only thing Mahershala Ali has said about this movie, I believe, was in December of 2023, and you can Google me on that. I believe it was in December of 2023 where he said, what did he say? There's a script or something, like he's read the script, he's making the movie happy or something like that. I don't know. It was something, I don't know. It's in December of 2023, though. That's the only time he's ever said anything about this movie. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if I've missed some quotes since then, but Mahershala Ali has not spoken publicly on this movie outside of what we heard from his lawyer saying that this is the most unprofessional thing that she's ever dealt with, blah 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 blah. So if you're hearing that from the lawyer, blah blah blah, then whatever Marvel is coming out and saying like, oh no, he's happy, we're happy, yay, we're still doing this film, I believed that's where it was coming from. I'm sorry, I had to rethink on this whole situation with Blade, because it's been so damn much. That's where I was coming from with the whole, I believed that he was not happy, was because the lawyer's not just going to make that shit up. She's not just going to pull some shit out of her ass, go public with it with her client and, all that kind of stuff. So these are conversations her and Mahershala Ali were having behind the scenes, that he wasn't happy, that there was bullshit going on. And like she said, in all her years of being a lawyer and being in this career, she has never dealt with something as unprofessional as she's dealt with this whole Blade situation. So I don't know. SJ said, should have used Superior Iron Man. William said, yeah, they already pissed on Rhodey's role in Endgame with Secret Invasion. Yeah, that's true. D Stizzle said, not talking to me on that one. Let's see. Gray, appreciate you being here. Ty said it's 2025 and Mahershala Ali is officially too old. We need a new Blade, and I agree with that too. If we are ever to get one in their 20s, early 30s, in my opinion, there's no way Mahershala can pull off these fight scenes, in my opinion. How does he just turn? He's 50 what now? Can somebody look that up? Ricardo said, RDJ writing Doom's backstory already tells me this plot finna be sorry as hell. Yeah. Namikaze said, I honestly don't see the point in taking already established stories and trying to do their own spin on things. We came here to see the source material be brought to life. I agree with that too. Ricardo said, them doing their own thing when there's literal source material is the equivalent of refusing to use textbooks during open book quiz. Yeah. I agree. 51 is what Mahershala Ali is. Thank you, Gray. Yeah, I said the brother was too old when we were covering all the different shit about it. I stopped because I'm like, the movie's not happening. And now it's coming out after Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff in a soft rebooted universe. And I don't know. We'll see. But speaking of soft rebooted universes, that takes us into the Black Panther news. Now, for those of you that have been here, you've known that I have been on the side of the fence and I still am on that side. I'm still on that same. I have not changed my mind, my opinion as of yet of what I believe is still going on with T'Challa in the MCU. However, there is evidence that could suggest otherwise. And I'm not just talking about what I was specifically told from my Marvel source for Black Panther, but what Alex of the Cosmic Circus just put out in their Q&A as well. Some of the things are kind of lining up. It also, if you go back to what we were just talking about with the Russo brothers, and we were talking about the possibilities of the rumor that Avengers Doomsday could be pushed back, with opening that 2026 slot for another film. And we'll talk about that as well. That could be likely Black Panther 3. We'll see. There have been rumors out there since the concept art leaked or whatever, I believe purposefully put out there. But when the concept art was put out, that it was not going to be, that the concept art was not based off of T'Challa. It wasn't based off of Toussaint. It was based off of Azuri. It was going to be T'Challa's grandfather that was going to be coming into the fold and possibly teaming up with a Toussaint or something like that. And that's not something we heard. That's just something when we were talking about Black Panther, kind of just were putting different shit together. But the overall thing is that it was going to possibly be Azuri coming in to help the Avengers or the team or whoever the fuck it's going to be going up against Doom and Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars or whatever. There were some people saying the Illuminati that possibly was going to show up in Brave New World, that Julius Ona said that they took off the table and they're still on the table but saving it for somewhere else in the future. So the Illuminati is a part of Avengers Secret Wars in the comics. So some people were saying that T'Challa could have been a part of that, and maybe that's why they scrapped it, because they're trying to save that reveal and things like that. I'm just throwing things out there that other people have said. These are, people trying to be hopeful and whatever. But what I have said is my theory, nothing else. I believe that he's dead in every universe. I believe that they are not trying to recast him. I believe that they don't have anything in mind to recast him. Nate Moore has came out and said that those rumors are not to be believed. Those rumors are just rumors. We have not talked about that, and we'll get to what he said. It's in here as well. We have not talked about that in depthly. We haven't had any conversations with Ryan. He's busy with Sinners and blah, blah, blah. Is any of that truly true? Or is it just lip service? And the reason I say that is because we are still, like the Russos, they are trying to keep things under wraps. And what a big secret to really try to keep under wraps. Now, again, I want to make this clear before I go into this. I'm still of the same mindset, but where I'm coming from is a place of hope. So I'm reporting this from a place of hope and trying to just put pieces together that we can kind of hold on to and hopefully believe that this stuff is true. Could what Nate Moore had been saying just been lip service? We know that the brother's on his way out anyway. We know that due to his failure, no matter what people like to tell you, due to his failure with Wakanda Forever, and due to his utter failure with the Brave New World and just black characters in general, because I believe that he was the brother helmed to handle all the black characters, all the black projects over at Marvel Studios, and due to his lack of getting the black audience interested in these black characters, getting these characters just out there in general, and the failure of that, and the failure of his movies, I believe that is why he is on his way out. It's not to pursue or to pursue other endeavors. It's because you failed, you're fired. And again, I will get into what I was told about that. So could what he had been saying just been lip service? Just like when the Russos were saying, or I'm sorry, not the Russos, who was it that we were just talking about there? Well, when we were talking about the Russos wanting to, they're going to be using the soundstage and preventing things from getting leaked out like that, and blah blah blah. They're just saying things, blah 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 blah. So could this just be lip service from Nate Moore? Have they really had conversations with other people behind the scenes? Do I believe My Time to Shine, Hello, and the others, Jeff Snyder, when they said that they have met with some of these people, that they're looking for certain types of a certain type of actor to come in and play the role? I do believe that. I do believe that they are looking for, now, is that T'Challa or some Black Panther male? I don't know, but again, lining up with what they're saying here, that is, it's very possible that they could be looking and speaking with different actors to portray T'Challa. And it seems, just from what I've been told from my Marvel source here, that it is still T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, that they are looking at recasting. They are not looking at doing Azuri. Again, I'm telling you what I've been told. They are not looking at doing Azuri. They are not looking at aging up the child. They are only looking and interested in recasting T'Challa, son of T'Chaka. From my understanding and what I've been told is that was actually never even taken off the table. So I will go into what I was told, and then we will go into the article here. So on Tuesday, regular Tuesday, and then I got hit with from my source saying that there was tea, but it was too hot that he'd get in trouble if he within his circle if he told everything to me. And then he said but it is really hot. He said, all I can say is what I originally told you back then is back on the table. He said, that's all I can say. And I said, no. You can't just come in on no damn Tuesday morning and hit me with that and then just leave me with that. So I've got to hear more. What is it? And we went on talking. Now, there's some things in here I cannot say, obviously. But then he goes on to say, so I said, what are these details I have to know? And he says, Damson is back in talks and apparently was never done. That's it. That's all I can spare. Nothing else. All right. So, but I squeezed some more things out. And then he goes on to say, he said that the concept art shook the table a bit. So the leaked concept art that came out shook the table a bit and really, I think, put some pressure maybe under Marvel Studios, or not even pressure, just maybe seeing the talks of people after, seeing that concept art being leaked, and then seeing the conversations around that concept art of people talking about T'Challa this, T'Challa that, blah, blah, blah. Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? So maybe that was the thing that shook the table for them a little bit. Let me see. Went on to say the future is bright for the Recast fam, and they should not be worried at all. And let me see. This is what he said here. He said, and there's this. There is a reason Nate Moore is out the door. Okay. He said, I'm really mincing my words, because I don't want to expose the brother. But the confidence in Nate is lost and gone. All right. So let's unpack some of that here. Let's start with Nate Moore. So he says that the confidence in Nate Moore is lost and gone, because that's where we stopped when we started talking about the what I was told anyway. So the confidence in Nate Moore is lost and gone for Marvel Studios, which that's not that really is not a surprise. It's not really a secret either. I feel like within our spaces, the conversations we have when talking about recasting T'Challa and things like that, we were saying that when we were looking for Nate, when we were trying to wonder, where is Nate? Ain't nobody heard from Nate, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, Nate Moore started talking again. Then the article came out that he was going to be parting ways with Marvel Studios. You're fired, and things like that. So if the confidence in Nate Moore is completely lost and gone, and he is on his way out the door, I want to make sure I got that just completely right, what was said there. There's a reason Nate Moore is on his way out the door. Again, I believe it's what we talked about. Brave New World's failure. Wakanda Forever, regardless of what people like to tell you, is failure. The decision to kill T'Challa, and I will read you this part too. This is also something that was said to me, and I always find it difficult having to, and I get it, I know, and I'm not arguing or combating the point that's told to me, because I don't have ears over at Marvel Studios. I don't have somebody that is on the inside like that. This is what he's hearing, and he's relaying it to me. So maybe this is true, maybe it's not. I am not really in the belief of, or in this mindset. I'm not in this mindset of believing this, but he said that, with everything I know, Kevin is really for the people. That's one white man Black people should protect. He just didn't have enough balls to call Nate Moore out. He trusted that they knew what they were doing, and it was an epic fail. Now, I can't believe that last part, that he trusted them to know what they were doing, because if we are to believe what was put out there way back in 2022, it's that Kevin Feige let them make that decision. He ultimately gave the decision to Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler, who decided within minutes, hey, we're not going to recast this character, dooming the franchise, dooming the movie, and ultimately opening up this complete and unnecessary hole to this franchise. And then all this talk about recasting, not recasting, and then this and that. You can still fix it. It can still be fixed. But I do believe that part. I believe that he gave it over to them. He told them, hey, it's up to you, blah, 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 blah. Now, my only issue I have is at some point, and maybe we've reached that point, maybe behind the scenes, Kevin Feige has said, hey, enough is enough of recasting the character. But as the president of the studio, you should have said then, when you saw, I know people were grieving, but after you saw the reception and how that this wasn't going the way it needed to go, you should have put something out, put a statement out then or something then. But again, maybe it's just a behind the scenes thing. Maybe his statement when he said it was just too soon was just him saying, just be patient. Even then, I know that was a long time ago. Maybe that was him just saying, I'm trying to be hopeful. Maybe that was him just saying, just be patient. We got something planned. We got something, we're working on something, trying to get T'Challa back in here, trying to get T'Challa back in the fold. We're going to recast the character. So just be patient. At the time, it was just too soon. So maybe that was him being Kevin Feige, being the president of the company, saying, hey, in a coded way, we're going to recast the character. I let them do what they needed to do in Wakanda Forever. I told them that they could handle it. I thought that maybe they could handle it. And then, of course, along the line from 2022 on to 2025, been seeing the visceral conversations around recasting T'Challa, the bullshit that we saw in X-Men 97, the bullshit that we're seeing with the video game, the bullshit of his name not even being mentioned in the MCU at all, the bullshit of What If using, Azuri using Azuri instead of T'Challa. We're about to see Eyes of Wakanda that is canon to the MCU. It's not going to be mentioning T'Challa. This child that is supposed to be taking all those things, maybe seeing all of those things, he has finally said enough is enough. We're going to recast this character. Enough is enough. We are not in a good place. They let us know. The studio is well aware that Marvel Studios as a whole, not just the Black Panther franchise, Marvel Studios as a whole is not in a good place. They told you that in Deadpool and Wolverine. They allowed those jokes to go forward. You're joining at a bit of a low point. So knowing that the studio's not in a good place, knowing that most of the movies and the things that we're putting out are flops. I mean, as I said in the Chill or in the stream that I did with Chill, people, the ceiling came down on Brave New World, and that's not like anything on Marvel Studios. That's a problem with the structure of the theater. But the studio came down on Brave New World, and the reason you didn't hear about any accidents, any injuries, because no one was fucking there. No one was there. The two people that were there didn't get hurt. So the studio's coming down on Brave New World. Brave New World is a flop. It is a flop. It is a flop. No matter how you look at it, The Marvels was a flop. No matter how you look at it, I didn't care for The Marvels, but I cared for it a little bit more than some of these other projects. It was a flop. A lot of these Disney Plus series and things like that, the stench of all of that, and you can see it in the numbers from the audience. You can see it from the conversation in the audiences. No one went and saw Brave New World. The question is still remaining for what's going to happen with Thunderbolts. The question is still remaining for what's going to happen with Fantastic Four. I don't really know what the numbers are currently for the first 2 episodes for Daredevil Born Again. But Marvel, it's not a secret that they're not in that great of a place. That's not really a secret. So again, with the president of the studio allowing jokes like that, sitting back and seeing that this is failing and I don't like this and blah, 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 maybe this is on that list of shit to fix. Fix this, fix that, recast T'Challa. Maybe this is on that list. So when he says that Namor's on his way out and they're doing this, and they're fixing that, I do believe that, and I do believe I don't know that I believe that. Again, maybe with everything I just said, maybe that is Kevin Feige being for the people. Maybe that is him trying. I don't know why. If I say he's really for the people, say he's for the money. He's for making his studio prosper again. He's for fixing the shit to have a smooth transition into the mutant saga, to getting Marvel Studios back at the top of everybody's talking list. I'm sure he's for fixing that. But the problems that we are wanting, when I say that there are layers to recast T'Challa, is he really digging deeper into those layers, or is he just at surface level saying, which I'm fine with. I don't need him to completely understand the recast. I don't need him to come in here and black power with us. I don't need him to do none of that shit. As long as you put him back on the screen, that's fine. So maybe again at base level, he's just saying from a business point of view, fix shit, recast T'Challa. So we'll see. We will see. Now on to the parts that were said there about T'Challa and them recasting. He says that Damson was never taken off of the table. And that was all that he could leave me with. That Damson was never taken off the table, and that they were never done with the talks. So we've heard that. Let me see something here. I should have looked this up, and this is my fault for not being prepared. When does this film? What is this? What is this film called? Oh, sorry. So the Children of Blood and Bones comes. When does this film release? Because I know Damson is in this. $2027. So when do they start filming this? Are they filming this now? And I without trying to, let me see, upcoming American fantasy film director, screenplay. Are they filming this now? Does anybody know if they are currently filming this? Because I'm trying to wrap that into my point here. Okay, Grace says yes, they are currently filming this. So if they are currently filming this now, when did they start? Does anybody know? I'm sorry, I was not prepared. I am so sorry. That is very unprofessional. I was not prepared. I should have had this pulled up. Does anybody know? Okay, we know they're filming. Does anybody know when it wraps? They started in 2024. Okay. So if it started in 2024 filming, they should wrap. And this film comes out when? 2027. So so it should wrap what? We're thinking. Yes, Patrick, possibly so. I'm kind of trying to get to that part, because Patrick asks, is this maybe why there could be a delay for maybe not the delay for Doomsday, but maybe the push for for Black Panther 3 here that they were talking about, and the Cosmic Circus brought up. Does it? Where did it say that? He says right there, 2025. Anyway. If this is currently, or with this currently filming, and it could possibly be wrapping up, I'm sure wrap up before that 2026 date. So with it, if it does wrap up before that 2026 date, then this, what the Cosmic Circus is talking about, could possibly speak to that. And this could possibly speak to also the delay for Avengers Doomsday and some of the other things. And again, I'm just giving hope. I'm giving hope. This is what I'm just trying to put in the pieces together. It says, rumor, Marvel Studios' November 2026 movie is now expected to be one of these two sequels. Marvel Studios has two movies set to release between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. The first is Spider-Man 4 on July 31st, 2026, and while Blade was once a likely contender for the vacant November 2nd, 2026 slot, it remains stuck in development hell. It's not happening. So which MCU movie will drop next November? The prevailing theory is that both it and Spider-Man 4 will be set on Battleworld. The Cosmic Circus brings word today about the two top contenders. When speaking to sources, Marvel was eyeing the November 2026 film to be a sequel. The two options being Black Panther 3 and Shang-Chi 2, with Black Panther 3 being the more likely of the duo. The site reveals acknowledging that things could have changed. Destin Daniel Cretton will be too busy working on Spider-Man 4 to helm Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Sequel. So we're not exactly surprised to learn it's fallen to the wayside. Originally, plans called for the sequel tentatively titled Shang-Chi and the Wrecking of Time to tie into the Kang the Conqueror story arc. With leaked Avengers Doomsday art confirming we're getting a new Black Panther. It makes sense for Black Panther 3 to release in 2026, establishing the new T'Challa in the process. Rumors continue to swirl about Marvel Studios' plans for the Black Panther franchise, including a possible T'Challa recast as soon as the next Avengers movies. I think this is Nate Moore. We are still trying to figure out, again, exactly what the next Avengers is going to be, so we haven't had any real story conversations, executive producer Nate Moore said in a recent interview. I know there's been a lot of chatter online about casting and villains. None of that's true. We just haven't gotten none of that's true. We just haven't gotten there yet, to be honest. But I am very excited to start those conversations, hopefully this year. Again, maybe, I don't know what Nate's role. I don't know. Is he on his way out? Is he not? I don't know. We don't know what the story is, so I couldn't tell you whether or not we're open to recasting, he continued. It certainly wasn't our instinct for Wakanda Forever. I'll never say never to anything, but it's too early to talk about any of that stuff. We have to figure out what the story's going to be. And I said when I originally read that part, the part where he said to never say never. I mean, if you look at that with what Alex is saying here about the whole Black Panther 3 thing, if we are to really, be believing some of these scoops and things, even what I've been told, that Damson Idris was never taken off the table, that he is still being looked at as to playing T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, it really could be the thing that they have had these conversations. With Nate Moore saying never say never, certainly wasn't our instinct for Wakanda Forever, but I'll never say never to anything. Again, with what I just said about Kevin Feige looking into the conversations that people are having online, because we do know that they have those people set in place that are looking at different conversations that are taking place online. I'm not saying that they're looking, specifically at any of us or anything like that, but those recasts, that hashtag, it is a prevailing hashtag. It sometimes it's trending, especially when it's coordinated and everybody's on the same page and things like that. So I'm sure Marvel Studios has seen that hashtag. We know that they are very much aware of it because E-Man has brought it up to them in interviews and things like that. He's even just recently spoken to the Russos about it. So we know that they are aware of the hashtag. But then being aware of that hashtag, again, maybe that's Kevin Feige looking out there and saying, no, we're recasting this character. So when Nate Moore says that it wasn't our instinct for Wakanda Forever, but never say never, maybe that's trickling down from the top, more just like, give it some time, wait and see. We're going to recast this character. And again, I'm giving hope. I don't know. Goes on to say Shang-Chi actor Simu Lee has also addressed concerns about his sequel being shelved now that Creighton, who was once in line to helm Avengers Kang the Dynasty, has shifted focus to the web slinger for Spider-Man. And I was going to bring this up in this article, but I'm glad it's here. I didn't even know this part was here. It says, I don't think anything has been impacted. I think I speak to Destin I speak to Destin often, and there's nothing coming out of both of us but excitement to make this film. And I think, again, that right there is more just, PR lip service type deal. I think that obviously Shang-Chi has been pushed back. Shang-Chi 2 is probably likely not going to happen before Secret Wars or before the soft reboot, if the soft reboot is really even a thing. The reason I say that is because Shang-Chi 2 was going to be so heavily tied into what they were doing with Kang the Conqueror and the rings and everything like that. With that being taken off the table and then pivoting to Doom, and what we've heard from Alex of the Cosmic Circus is that the whole MacGuffin of Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars is going to be the race to Loki. Who can get to Loki? I don't know where you fit unless I didn't read the whole spread of what he said. I haven't read the whole Q&A of what Alex said. So maybe he mentions the rings in there, and maybe they're doing something with the rings still in this. But I don't know that the rings are going to be really a heavy part of or Kamala's Bengals, maybe even. I don't know a big part of what they're doing anymore, because that was all going to be so heavily tied to Kang. So with Shang-Chi being tied to Kang and that whole Wrecking of Time rumored title, Shang-Chi, I believe, is going to get pushed back to after Secret Wars. I don't even know where you would fit that in after Secret Wars in the soft reboot. And if we're to believe this here from Alex, that Black Panther 3 is going to then take that 2026, that November 2nd, 2026 date for that. I mean, we know Black Panther 3 is happening. We've heard Denzel say that there's a role for him. Obviously, Ryan right now is busy with Sinners. That has to come out and everything first. But maybe in a world, obviously movie world, especially with them trying to wrap things up over here at Marvel Studios, maybe we see right after he's done with that, they start immediately working on that. Maybe they've had conversations already. We keep saying, and because none of us really know, people are on Twitter saying, well, no, Marvel Studios hasn't talked with Ryan. Ryan's busy with Sinners. Marvel Studios themselves have said that. Nate said, he's busy with Sinners, so he's got to wrap that up. But just because, how do we know that conversations haven't been had? They are really trying to tell a very, 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 very big Marvel story here in a very, very short amount of time. And in that very, very short amount of time to tell Marvel's biggest fucking story and not completely botch it and completely lose whatever range you have left handled on this franchise. How do we know they're not having conversations trying to speed shit along? Yeah, he's working on Sinners, but he ain't working on Sinners 24/7. How do we know that they hadn't pulled him aside? Hey, you got 5 minutes. Hey, you got 10 minutes. Hey, you got 5 seconds. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how we might be shifting this around, or this might be shifting. And then when you finish with Sinners, we're really going to sit down and talk about how we're going to boost this thing forward. How do we know that those conversations haven't happened? So who's to really say that they haven't spoken with Ryan Coogler, or that Ryan Coogler hasn't coordinated? Because I've seen that going around too. I've been in those conversations that Ryan Coogler hasn't coordinated with the Russo brothers even. Again, they are trying to tell a very big story in a very small amount of time. So I also believe that maybe they have even spoken to, possibly, theory here, that maybe they've even spoken to the Russos. Maybe Russos have coordinated or spoken something with Ryan. I don't know. But in order for you to put the Black Panther in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and unless it really is Azuri, but let's again go back to what I'm being told here, and that it is T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, and we know that is Damson Idris's likeness, no matter what people are out there saying. Jesus, people out there talking about, oh, I don't see Damson, I don't see this person, I don't see this, and you're blind. Then you're absolutely fucking blind, because it definitely is Damson's likeness. Is it a one-for-one likeness of Damson Idris? No, because no contracts have clearly been signed yet. So they cannot take his likeness and just completely do that. So, of course, they're going to make it look similar to him. I even saw somebody say, y'all are tripping. It looks like Chadwick Boseman. And what the fuck? So, again, you're blind. It looks like Damson. It resembles Damson Idris. So if it's resembling Damson Idris, we know that Damson Idris has kind of been in whispers even before I got the little scoop that I got. Damson Idris was in whispers. We heard whispers of, Damson Idris would be a good person. Oh, we've heard that Marvel talked to Damson, or this or that, blah, 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 blah. So if that is really Damson's likeness and things like that, with Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars happening, and then this he's currently filming the film that he's filming, The Children of Blood and Bones, and with Black Panther possibly taking that November 2nd slot. It is very, very much possible, that Damson Idris is truly in talks with Marvel Studios to play T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, and that he is going to be T'Challa that comes out of some portal or wherever, a part of the Illuminati or whatever it's going to be in the MCU, and then going to go further with it in Black Panther 3. And maybe they do that summer vacation that they had planned originally with T'Challa when Chad was helping Ryan with the script, when it was going to be a father-son type of deal. And I want to put this out there too, because there might be some confusion on my end or whatever, or whoever's end or whatever. Yes, I do reject Toussaint as being T'Challa. I do reject the child coming in and replacing T'Challa. That meaning taking T'Challa's stories. That meaning them taking comic stories from as T'Challa and just letting Toussaint be T'Challa or whatever in the MCU and have him do those stories. I reject that idea. I damn that idea. I don't want that idea at all. But I have never been against the idea of a father-son duo like Chadwick was going, like we were originally going to get anyway, if Chadwick Boseman wouldn't, if he would have never passed, if he had not passed. That's what we were going to get anyway. We were going to get it was under the code name Summer Vacation, and in that whole thing, it was going to be that they were on his son was going to come of age. Him and his son were going to go out into Wakanda, into the wilderness. They were going to perform a coming of age ritual to where something was going to happen, that the Avengers needed T'Challa, or something needed T'Challa's attention, to where they had to leave Wakanda. But he took his son with him. This is what they wrote. This was Chad and Ryan. So he took his son with him. So that was always going to be a father-son film, regardless. The kid wasn't something they pulled out at the end. It was always going to be a father-son film. What they decided to do with the kid is what I resent. So I do resent the Toussaint as a character taking over T'Challa's stories. Now, you want to do the father-son duo? You want to have T'Challa come in, or maybe if you want to execute Secret Invasion correctly, or actually try to use that whole storyline that you botched also correctly, that could have been you could use anything. We've gone over so many different scenarios and ideas that you could use to justify or use the idea that T'Challa is back, because the shit is fictional and fake anyway. So if you could use all of that, use all those fake ideas to bring him back, it could be the original T'Challa, or if it's not the original T'Challa that they decide to bring back, that's what I would prefer. But if it's not the original T'Challa that they decide to bring back, and it is a variant, it'll be really weird. I don't know how you justify and fix this Wakanda accepting an outside, even though. I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation. That really is. That's a whole nother like hour. That's a whole nother thing. But the whole point is T'Challa is not off the table. The whole point is T'Challa could be moving forward in the MCU. The whole point is maybe, just maybe, our voices, your voice, my voice, Jill's voice, Marcus's voice, Dre's voice, all the voices, Fatal J, all the voices that are out there that are using their voice to promote and push the recasting of T'Challa. Maybe those voices are being heard by Marvel Studios. Maybe they're actually listening. And then again, I've said this, and just in my own theory, I believe that if they did originally offer the role as a child role, aged up role, I believe that these actors also are very privy to what is going on online. They are not daft to the conversation of recasting T'Challa. If Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson, is seeing the conversation, I know damn well Aldous has seen the conversations. I'm sure we know Damson has seen the conversations, because he replied to something. He replied. He was cheeky about it. He replied to something. I don't remember exactly the context of it. I don't remember exactly what he said. But I remember it was something about him turning down the role or something like that, or he's something like that. I don't know. Something related to Black Panther. He's aware of the conversation. So maybe if it was offered as a Toussaint character, he said, no. The only way I do this, and do this further on past any of this, is if it's T'Challa, because that's what the people want. They want T'Challa, and that's what we need to do. And that's if you believe what, go back and look what Simone said, Chadwick's widow, when she said that she even believed that that's what Chadwick would have wanted in a podcast interview. She believed that that's what he would have wanted. He would have wanted the character to go on. His brother has said it. His niece has said it. We have said it. Everyone has said it. So I believe that they're privy to the goddamn conversation. And if with them being privy to that conversation, that maybe Damson has even told them, no, the only way I do this, or even Aldous, or whoever the fuck it's going to be, no, the only way I do this is if it's T'Challa. So maybe that is what we're seeing here. Maybe that is what they are seeing here. So we could be seeing that for sure. And again, that lines up with possibly Black Panther 3 taking place November 2nd, to be that Battle World film. Now, a lot of people are of the mindset that Battle World film is going to be World War Hulk, but I just don't, that never made sense to me, because there is no possible fucking way you can do that. There's not. You don't have the players. Now, granted, it could be the MCU version of it, but you don't have the players for it. You don't have, the story is not even remotely set up for that in the MCU. So there's no way you could possibly do that. So let's assume that World War Hulk was never even on the table. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But if they are putting Black Panther 3 as a Battle World film, could that possibly mean that the Wakanda that we once knew in the MCU is going to be completely different, with it being a Battle World film? I don't know. Again, that takes you into that whole hour conversation of them accepting a different, or how that whole dynamic would even work. But with it being a Battle World film, that means, again, it would come out between Doomsday and Secret Wars. And I've since said, I've been saying this, I don't know how you do Secret Wars without T'Challa, Wakanda, and all that anyway, because time runs out. Opens. Unless you're adapting some type of time runs out version of the story into Black Panther 3 to make it fit into what you're trying to tell with Doomsday, Secret Wars, wrapping up the multiversal saga, blah, 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 blah. Because it cannot then, Black Panther 3, if it's going to be a Battle World film, if this is true, it cannot then be horror elements, or it cannot then be this whole, it can't be, it's an isolated story. It can't be an isolated story. It can't be horror supernatural. It can't have Denzel as, It can't have Denzel as who we were thinking Denzel was going to be. It can't, I don't think it can be that isolated story. In order for it to be a Battle World film, it has to fit into the current story you are telling for the audience, and for it to make sense going into Secret Wars. Or is that just me? So I think that if that is true, then if he is introduced in Doomsday, and he goes on to do it in Black Panther 3, maybe, I don't know, then Secret Wars. I'm just, again, I'm giving hope and guessing. As I said at the very beginning, I still have the same mindset that I believe. But it is very possible that some of these things could be definitely occurring and happening. They could be listening. They could be very interested in doing this. They could be, Damson could be on his way to playing T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, in the MCU, and moving forward to even do more. And that kind of lines up with the whole thing that even Jeff said when he said that he even heard it's going to not just be Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, but it's also going to be after. Maybe people are getting cross. Maybe it's Azuri. Maybe Azuri is on the table. I believe there's a big whiteboard. I do. I believe there's a big whiteboard where they have recasting on there, but they have so many other I'm not saying it's the big thing. Recasting is the big thing. I believe it's on that whiteboard. I believe they have so many different things involving the Black Panther franchise, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to fix this, trying to fix that. So maybe, I don't know. But I do believe that I do think Damson in some way is going to play some Black Panther character. Hopefully that is T'Challa. Prayerfully that is T'Challa, and prayerfully they do move on with what they are trying to do. So, from what I've been told, and to wrap that part of the topic up, he was never off the table. The leaks that came out shook things up a little bit over at Marvel Studios, and Damson Idris is still on track to portraying this character in the MCU. Again, that is, from what I've been told, T'Challa, son of T'Chaka. And we will see how all this is going to play out. But I know a lot of you guys have said some things there, so I'll get to what some of you guys are saying, and we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's go up. There's a lot. Okay. Khan said, wait, was the Black Panther news said already? Did I miss it? Oh, no, brother. You got it. SJ said, I really don't get why you ever pick T'Chanda Azuri and not T'Chaka or Bashanga if you are focusing on Suri or to Junior. World War II era BP for Doomsday is just so dumb, even if you anti-recast. Does Nate Moore even get invited to most of these meetings anymore? He has flopped with Eternals and Cap 4. That's what I was saying when he said, I can't wait to have these conversations. I was like, is he? I don't know. Maybe that's just more lip service, like, oh yeah, trying to just save face and things like that. I can't wait to be a part of these conversations. No studio is going to come out and he's not going to come out and say, well, I won't be a part of those conversations because I'm fired. So, yeah, whatever. So of course, maybe it's just more lip service. I don't know. Patrick said, should tell you all you need to know about Nate Moore. Oh, should tell you all you need to know about Nate Moore. Yeah, right. From earlier. The Lawrence Report said, who is going to be the new black guy that takes Nate's spot, y'all think? Or will Marvel not replace Nate? I don't know. I think they're going to replace him because I'm of the belief, I think Brad is Nate currently. That's what I think. I think Brad is currently Nate. Brad is doing a lot of the shit Nate was doing before Nate's bullshit hit the fan. I do strongly believe that, not after Secret Wars, but I believe somewhat after the Mutant Saga is either the first part of it, phase 1 of the Mutant Saga is done or fostered or whatever. I believe Kevin Feige's gone. And I believe that's when Brad is going to take over for Kevin Feige, in my opinion. I think he's taking over for Kevin Feige. I do. I think Brad Winterbaum is going to take over as the president over Marvel Studios. Just my thought. And then I think that then they'll get a new Nate in. Is that going to be a new black guy? I think it is going to be a new black guy. Is it going to be a black guy that is going to be skin folk? I don't know. You got to get somebody in there that is going to advocate for black characters. Somebody that is going to not, keep shelving and pushing back these characters. Riri Williams, although I'm not interested in Ironheart, it's still the simple fact that is a show that has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back to the point that it's supposed to be a continuation of a failed film from 2022 that you're expecting people to give a fuck about. Just put some respect on the character. That's my thing. I don't give a fuck about seeing Ironheart, but it's a simple fact this is a black character that's been pushed back and pushed back. It's another character, again, just like with Blade. Blade has been shelved and pushed back, and he's happy. It's happening. It's not 6 writers, 18 fucking different directors, and all this kind of shit, and we just can't get a simple Blade film right. T'Challa's dead. Monica's gone. It's not just a Marvel thing. I mentioned this on our stream we did on Monday or whatever we did. It's a Disney thing. The animated Disney Princess Tiana show has been shelved. I don't know what it is, if what frightens them about black characters or why black characters don't get the same respect that some of these other characters get. And some people might say, oh, you're whining, it's this and this and that. Well, you show me where the black characters have gotten any respect. And if you say, well, Sam Wilson, then you're a goddamn lie. You're a goddamn lie if you say Sam Wilson. None of the black characters in the MCU have gotten any respect like that. So, and I agree completely with that. Or who's going to be the next person? Don't know. But it's got to be somebody that's going to put some respect on the black characters and not let them just shelf black projects. Let's see. Jet said, emphasis on T'Challa, son of King T'Chaka. Keep the hope alive. Thompson said, just give us a T'Challa at this point. It's so much story to tell, and skipping to A to Junior would just piss all over that. Yep. Raymond said, confidence in Nate Moore been lost and gone. Right. That's why I said that's not really so much of a secret there. I feel like that's been known. NYC said they lost it from Falcon and the Winter Soldier because that was trash. I'm the one that also believes that Falcon and Winter Soldier just was an abysmal disaster. Groovy said, did someone pull a Deadpool and leak shit to force Marvel to recast T'Challa instead of aging up the bastard? You know, I don't even know if it was that. I think it's more so just like, one, it's been too long. It's been too long. Two, the conversation around it. Now, again, as I've said, I still really do believe I'm of the same mindset. I still believe that they really don't give a fuck. I still believe that they think that they are just, you know, as long as they put a male Black Panther in the place, that's good enough, because they're not looking at it as deep as we are. They're looking at it as surface value. But I'm not going into all that stuff because that's, you know, I'm being hopeful today. That's just my thoughts that you can look at some other time, but that's been my thought. But I don't know, maybe. SJ said, I mean, eventually they got to make some money, and Nate has been losing them money. Wakanda Forever dropped $500 million in sold merch. Oh, brother, yeah. Captain Wakanda Sam flopped, as did the Eternals. They just opened a new Ollie's here in my hometown, and I went in because I'm like, hey, an Ollie's that's closer, so let me go in here and see what type of Marvel Legends they might have, because sometimes Ollie's get some really good, like my Cersei and Black Knight Marvel Legends figures. I got that pack. I got that two set pack from Ollie's. They had not just the Wakanda Forever shit, it was the Eternal shit too. Now, mind you, this was like its grand opening. Like, it had been open maybe 2 days. That shit's on sale for 99 cents. I shit you not. I'm not exaggerating. I have no reason to. I have no reason to sit here and try to exaggerate on how much Marvel Legends figures are, especially ones I don't give a good goddamn about. They were 99 cents. So yeah, they dropped a lot in merch. I remember there was not just the Marvel Legends stuff. They had like Wakanda Forever makeup. They had Wakanda Forever sheets, Wakanda Forever pillows, Wakanda Forever hoodies. Like that, they had a big display at the Walmart here in the middle, and no one touched that shit. No one was checking for Wakanda Forever makeup. No one was checking for Wakanda Forever sheets. Nobody was checking for Wakanda Forever fucking pillows. Nobody liked that movie. William said, damn, they set that brother up as the fall guy by making him make decisions they never wanted to make themselves. That's a way to look at it too. Ricardo said, Kevin the leaker. What the fuck? Let's see. Patrick said politics. Williams said that 5-minute decision left the MCU without a leader for 2 phases, right? Thompson said, hell, just looking at the money made, he should have recast it off the top, right? Ty said, Dumbledore got recasted very quickly. Money had to be made. And that's, I mean, we all with functioning brains understand that. We can look at that and say, okay, that makes sense. These are actors. They play a role. You know, the role has to go on. So you continue that role. I mean, Dumbledore just got recasted again for the series, which I can't wait to see. So it's like, yeah, we all get that. But again, we have functioning brains. NK said the Marvels definitely wasn't what it should have been. Should have been great. Oh no, I completely agree. That film definitely was not. Dar-Benn was the app. Like, why choosing Dar-Benn was the villain as the villain? I hated Nick Fury in it. There was a lot of different things. Let's see. NK also said, why can't they keep Namor and bring back T'Challa? Would like to see that actual fight go down. Gray said Kevin Feige pulled a Rico. You're not recasting T'Challa. I don't like that shit. Gonna have to drop a time on him. Ty said Damson would be a dope T'Challa variant, just not the main. And then Lawrence Report said the writer Tommy showed some BT some behind the scenes the other day. Let's see. Lawrence said usually doesn't take more than 10 weeks for filming. Okay. Lawrence also said Black Panther and Shang-Chi not happening until after. Possibly. I'm still of that mindset. I don't know I don't know if they actually do the two. I mean, there's still something that has to take up that November 2nd slot, unless they just completely nix it. Something still has to take up that November 2nd slot. And if those are the two that they were looking at having, then we're to believe that, then it's going to be Black Panther 3. I'm still of the belief that it's possibly still happening after Secret Wars, but who knows? Again, like I've laid out there, maybe they've shifted things. It's not unusual or at all for Marvel Studios to pivot. They will pivot and pivot and pivot, and they have pivoted so much between phases, between Endgame and now, that I would expect them to pivot again when shit is the way it is currently. So maybe they're looking at it and they've pivoted again with it, and they're like, no, this just isn't just not gonna work. We got to recast him. Let's see. Got another super. I didn't see that there. I do appreciate it. Sutherland said, can still have horror elements go to Necropolis. That's true. That is actually, that's very true. That's very, very true. You can still have your horror elements and go to Necropolis. And thank you so much for that super chat.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
That is very true, though. Yes, you can definitely have those horror elements, and you can definitely go to Necropolis. That could be a way that you have T'Challa come back, do the King of the Dead. It's very, very possible. It's very possible. I didn't, I guess because I guess when I think about stuff, I didn't think about that way because one, I just don't think, I'm always looking at Marvel Studios and I'm like, they'll never do that. They'll never do that. It used to be, I would think, oh, I can't wait to see Marvel do this to where it's turned into, oh, they'll never do that. But that is a way that, and if we're in to line up also with the horror elements that Alex was previously talking about like a month ago, you could still have that in there. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. Thank you for that. Very true. Dan the Man said Damson as the Wakandan Empire variant or Aldous as the King of the Dead variant. Both could be mentors to our new T'Challa, who is the last survivor of his world. Patrick said, yes, Wakanda we know won't be the same by the time we get BP3. That's the only way. It'll be part of the soft reboot. Right. Yeah. Raymond said, but I didn't believe but I don't believe that's a BP3 movie is coming before Secret Wars. Yeah, I still don't believe that either. But again, maybe, who knows? Who knows? Stamina said, oh, we agree there. It ain't shit at all. It just pulled a few punches and went nuts in Act 3. Yeah, shame, really. Yeah. Ricardo said, Damn, this thing keeps putting ads in the middle of shit. Are y'all getting ads in the middle? It's annoying. Ricardo said they was fighting KYM Whitley's little sister in the Marvels. Or Kim Whitley's little sister. She plays in something else too, though. Forget her name. She plays in that show, Stamina Misfits, over there in London. I've said if y'all haven't watched Misfits, check Misfits out. It's a good show. Good show. Superhero show. Lawrence said, how are you guys feeling about Daredevil? I like it so far. I mean, it's just 2 episodes in. I'm not expecting the 2 episodes to be the craziest 2 episodes, but I've liked it so far. The tone, I like it. I mean, I really do. That first episode was really good, I thought, with Bullseye. I thought the actress, forget her name, that plays Karen, her acting was great in that scene. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the whole conversation between Wilson and Murdoch at the table and the diner. It's so far it's really good. I don't know how they're gonna explain the whole, like, why he doesn't look like he got shot in the fucking face. But so far, yeah, I do like what I'm seeing. Yeah, in the whole mentioning of the Spider-Man, I like that too. You know, one thing that I really love about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is that the animated show is that it is a connected universe. Like, you know, Spider-Man's not just doing shit in the streets, and like Iron Man doesn't show up sometimes, or Captain Doctor Strange has shown up twice. Daredevil has shown up. I mean, you know, different things like that. This is a shared universe. It's one thing I really love about it. And I understand that obviously Spider-Man cannot be used in the MCU TV shows. That's the deal that they have with Sony. He can only be used in movies. But I like the mention of him, but it's like, damn. Like, even when they were interviewing the people on the street, and they were like, well, Daredevil's been gone a long time. But I was hoping like somebody was going to say, yeah, but Spider-Man is, but like, I hate that it's not like real connected like that. But I really like the show. I liked when he did say people running around in Spider-Man or spider suits. I do like the show. It's good so far. It's good so far. I'm not really paying attention to the shit online that people are saying as far on Twitter, as far as like, I think there are people like trying to hate on it or whatever. I liked the first 2 episodes, and I'm going to keep it at that. Let's see. Raymond said, I'm still fighting my way through rewatching the first series. Oh, okay. Watching. Yeah, no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it. Understanding said, I need Fat Kingpin back. Vincent said in an interview he gets bigger. He said he gets bigger in the show. So I don't know exactly what that means, but he said he gets bigger. So we should see him. I don't know. I would like to see, big Kingpin, but I don't know. We'll see. Lauren said it was a good start for sure. Yeah, I liked it. Stamina said, at worst, you only need season 3. 2K, don't postpone this new thing just to watch all 5, all of them. I think he's talking to Raymond on Netflix seasons. William said, Kingpin took an L to Kate Bishop. Yeah, it's muscle. It's definitely muscle. That's it's like Matt said, your steps are lighter. You put on muscle and shedded some weight and things like that. But so when Vincent said he's supposed to get bigger, I don't know if like how they're gonna do that. I don't know if he's gonna be like, I don't know, but we'll see. He says he gets bigger. Is that? Let's see, I think is that it? I think that's it. It's everybody that's been in the chat. Yeah, Stamina said Kingpin is a unit. Yeah. All right, but that's it, guys. That's what I've got today. That's the news on T'Challa. That's the things that I've been told. I'm sure for everybody that's here, come back come back tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Pantheon stream. I'm sure we're going to go more in depth into what I was told. I'm going to go more in depth into some things, get some other conversations, thoughts, and things like that. I'm sure there's other topics that we will also cover as well. So if you are normally there, come in, come check it out. No, that's not my DMs. That's not my DMs. That's not my DMs. You scared me for a second. I was gonna say, holy shit, is that my DMs? No, that's my notifications. So, but come back this evening. We'll be there for the Pantheon stream. Again, we'll probably talk about more of the Black Panther 3 stuff, what it could possibly mean, what Alex was saying, what I was told, trying to put more pieces of the puzzle together to see if this is really something that could possibly happen and things like that. So I'll see you guys in a couple hours, like JD said. I appreciate every single one of you guys being here, as always. So if you have not, go ahead and like this video. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you like what you've seen, if you're just joining like Andre, you can watch this in the replay as well. D-Sizzle said, yeah, not feeling Slim Pin. Just put him in a fat suit. Stamina said, he is in a fat suit. Mr. Stizzle. Vincent said he can't shake the weight as easy if he puts it on now. He's getting older. Ah, I see. Well, Definitely come back this evening. Definitely come back this evening and hang out with us. Like I said, it's not just going to be the Black Panther conversation. There's going to be other topics too that we'll talk about. They might even do call-ins. We might even do call-ins tonight just to get everybody's overall thoughts, where everybody's thoughts are currently on Black Panther 3 and this possible Damson never being out of talks and things like that. So we'll get with all of you. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ricardo, very much. Thank you guys for the super chats as well. Super chat that came from Sutherland, and I had another super there that came from Motivational Misfit. Appreciate that as well. Appreciate both of you guys for the super chats. Appreciate everybody in the chat just hanging out and talking with me as always. I love you guys very, very much. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys all in the next video. See you guys this evening, again, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. See you in the next video. Peace out.